What's up everybody, it's Sean here and I am back today to give you guys an early look at the upcoming Nike Air Max 95 Premium Toronto. So Toronto is a city that I was born and raised in, and this is totally my biased opinion, but it's one of the most underrated big cities in the entire world. It's super multicultural, the food scene is absolutely amazing, it's relatively safe for a big city, and it's free of any natural disasters like earthquakes or tornadoes or hurricanes. And it's home to some of my favorite sports teams, the Toronto Raptors, Blue Jays, and to a lesser extent, the Maple Leafs. So throughout the past few months, Nike has been dropping city-inspired colorways of some of their most iconic sneakers. So we've seen, for example, themed shoes for Atlanta, Philadelphia, and Chicago, just to name it off the top of my head. But now it's Toronto's turn. So this is the Nike Air Max 95 Premium, and they're slated to drop here in Toronto at select boutiques on August 29th. So this was a collaborative project between Nike Toronto and some of the biggest boutiques in the city, including Capsule and Livestock. But they're also going to be available at other retailers around the country, including the Closet Inc. So the Closet Inc. is my go-to shop for Nike retros and Jordan releases. They're independently owned and operated, based right here in Southern Ontario, just outside of Toronto, but they ship countrywide. So these, I believe, are dropping on the Closet Inc.'s website on Saturday instead of tomorrow, but they're retailing for the same retail price as $240 Canadian dollars, or I believe 185 USD. And the official colorway for this shoe is black, white, university red, and fitting enough, Blue Jay. First things first though, here's a quick look at the packaging, and I have to say, this box is one of the dopest boxes I've ever seen, and it speaks to Toronto so well. So on the top of the lid, you can see we have the stylized Air Max Toronto branding, along with an illustration of the Goddess of Winged Victory, which is a statue that's found atop Toronto's Princess Gates. And then on all sides of the box, we have different illustrations of the different types of people that you'd see on the streets of Toronto, basically highlighting the multiculturalism and the diversity. And inside the box, there's a card here, and it reads, "Inspired by the diverse community of people that fill Toronto's streets every day, the design captures and celebrates the talents, foods, and culture that make up the city's robust DNA." So as for the shoe itself, diving right into the details, starting things off with the edge of the toe box, this is covered in this tumbled black colored leather. So you can see this leather extends downwards towards the sides, and then the base layer of the sneaker towards the laces, this is covered in a white colored mesh. Underneath this, we have this reflective 3M piping, which is done in a gradient-like effect, changing from more of a bluish tone to more of a burgundy tone. And this is really accentuated when you shoot it with flash, for example. It really reminds me of the city at nighttime. Underneath this being the Nike Air Max 95, we have these 4 different layers. So the top layer, this is covered in what feels like a synthetic white colored leather. Beneath this, we have this gray colored suede. Underneath that, we have a ripstop nylon material, which again is done in a gradient finish, going from blue on the heel to more of a purplish or burgundy color on the forefoot. And then we have black leather on the very bottom. On the lateral heel, we have this embroidered red colored swoosh. And then on the back of the shoe, this is covered in a white reflective layer with Nike Air branding on the top in black. And again, when you shoot the shoe with flash, you can see the skyline featuring the CN Tower, which pops up on the heel, which I thought was really, really dope. In terms of the eyelets of the sneaker, so these are a black colored nylon eyelet with a reflective strip running down the center. Underneath this, we have this black ripstop nylon, and then the laces themselves, these are a thick white colored rope lace with hits of reflective 3M intertwined within. And if you're not feeling the white laces, they also come with a rope style lace in black as well, if you want to give the shoe a little bit more contrast. So the laces loop through this overlay, which is done in a black colored reflective layer, which is a nod to Yonge Street, which originates or starts in Toronto's harbor. And then underneath this, the bottom half of the tongue is covered in a white colored mesh. On the top, this is covered in a white colored nylon, and then we have a Velcro attached patch with Air Max branding done in black, silver, and blue. And when you remove the patches, it features the word East End on the right foot and West End on the left foot, representing the 2 sides of Toronto split by Yonge Street down the center. The back of the tongue and the interior of the shoe, this is covered in a white colored mesh. And then for the insoles, these come with your standard foam line insole. However, they feature custom graphics. So I'm totally guessing here, but this looks like Toronto streets when you drive through it in the winter. And on the heel though, this is really special. I think this is definitely one of those, you gotta be from Toronto to know this. But the graphic here is a play on a token from the TTC, or basically our city's transit system, and you can pay with these coins that look just like this. But of course, instead of TTC, it says valid for Toronto, and we have a Nike swoosh in the middle of the TTC logo. So the upper of these Air Max 95s sits atop a polyurethane foam midsole, which is entirely painted in black, blending seamlessly with the leather toe cap and the heel. So encased within the foam, we have Nike Air technology both underneath the forefoot and the heel, and this is visible on both ends, and you can see the Air unit itself is painted in a vibrant university red tone. And then for the outsole, looking at the bottom, so this is your standard Air Max 95 outsole, so we have a hit of blue rubber across the forefoot, but other than that, the rest of the outsole is crafted out of black colored rubber. So we have this waffle style traction pattern on the forefoot, and we have this hard TPU plate down the middle, and underneath this we have this gradient like finish with Nike Air branding in the middle. So that breaks down the look and the construction of this shoe. And for those wondering about how these fit, to me these fit like a typical Nike Air Max 95, so I personally prefer to go up half a size. My foot measures as a true size 10, slightly on the wider side, and I usually wear a size 10.5 for the Air Max 95. That's what I did for this shoe, and it fits me perfectly in a slightly snug way. So I feel like if you have a really narrow foot, maybe you can go true to size, but I feel like for the majority of people out there, going up a half size probably will fit you better, and especially if you have a really wide foot, this is probably not a shoe for you because you can see the tapering on this toe box, it's quite extreme. So I'd probably stay away from the silhouette if you have a really wide foot. Otherwise, for most people, go up half a size from your actual measured foot size, and it should fit you fine. To give you guys a point of comparison, so while I go up half a size for this Air Max 95, I can stick true to size or a size 10 with most Air Max 1s and Air Max 90s. Moving on to the comfort of this shoe, so overall the comfort of the Air Max 95, straight out of the box at least, isn't the best, but in my experience, just based off of past pairs that I've bought and worn, they definitely feel more comfortable the more you wear them and the more you break them in. So they're not a total brick on foot, you can feel some compression of the foam underfoot, but technology wise it is quite outdated being from the mid 90s. But for an everyday casual use sneaker, they're going to be perfectly fine. Just don't expect anything super soft or super responsive, then I think you won't really be that disappointed. Finally, in terms of the quality and the craftsmanship, so first off, the material quality unfortunately was really nothing great. We do have a bunch of synthetic leathers on this shoe. There is some genuine suede on this, but other than that, the materials really didn't wow me. I do appreciate though the variety of the materials that they use on this shoe. This is kind of a play on Toronto's multiculturalism and diversity, having different colors and textures mixed together and work so well on one united silhouette. So while the material quality wasn't the best, I thought the build of the shoe was okay. There weren't any major flaws that I could see. I thought the stitch job was solid. There were some glue stains along the midsole area, but really nothing too major. So with all of that out of the way now, let's toss these on feet. I'll lace them up for you and I'll show you guys how these look. Overall, I gotta say, this is a pretty well done shoe and it pays homage to the city of Toronto pretty decently. I think I forgot to mention this, but the overall colors of the shoe, not only is it reminiscent of the colors of the Toronto Blue Jays, and more specifically their recent jersey that they released earlier this year, but overall it really reminds me of the colors of the Toronto skyline at night. I'm really proud to call Toronto home, so to see a brand like Nike officially drop a shoe that pays respect to the city, I'm always down for that. I believe the last time we got a Toronto-based Nike sneaker was probably the Nike Air Max 1 the 6. That was many years ago though, and I think this shoe is long overdue. So let me know your thoughts down below. What do you guys think about the colorway? What do you think of the Air Max 95 in general? And do you plan on picking these up, or are you just not feeling these and this will be a pass for you? As usual though, if you guys enjoyed this review, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me on Instagram at esco8. Follow me on X at sean.go spelt out, and visit my website at seango.ca. So thanks everyone for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review and hopefully it helped you in some way. Appreciate the continued love and support, and I'll catch all of you in my next video.